Hi, and welcome in everybody. So I've been playing ESO for a very long time. I actually started playing the game way back in beta, and ever since I started playing ESO, I have always dreamed of the day that I could play it on my phone. And well, that day has finally come. So in this video, I'm going to go over ESO on mobile. I'm not only going to show you guys how to play on mobile, but I'm going to talk about my experiences playing on it, what you can and can't do on mobile, and of course we'll talk a little bit about what this could mean for the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, all of the footage in this video is from my phone except for the PvP footage because I am pretty bad on a controller. And to preface the video, I'm not being sponsored by Google or ZeniMax to make this video. I made this just because I recently found this service and I have really been enjoying the Elder Scrolls Online on my phone, and I wanted to share it with you guys too. So let's start off with the first, big piece of information. How am I playing ESO on my phone? Surprise, surprise, I'm using Google Stadia. Now, Google Stadia is a service that allows you to stream games from Google's server onto a device of your choice. So you can essentially play a video game on something that wouldn't be able to play a video game of that caliber. Or at least that's what I see as the positive side of having a service like Google Stadia. Now, if you're like me and you have a nice gaming rig, you likely won't want to use Stadia on your nice computer. But the allure of a service like Google Stadia allowing me to play something like the Elder Scrolls Online on my phone really pulled me in. So I had to give it a try and I had to see just how well this could work on a mobile device. If you are trying to use Stadia on a device that is not supported by Stadia, you can go into experimental mode and give it a shot. If it works on your device, it will work, and if it doesn't, well, it won't, but it'll try doing it, so you can figure out for yourself if your phone can run Google Stadia. Now, something I do want to mention is that your first month of Google Stadia is free, so if you guys just want to give it a trial to see if it even works on your device, this is how you can do it. Now, after that first free month, Google Stadia is $10 a month, and then there is a pro subscription option that you can use as well. That's something that's not really appealing to me because, I'm just going to be using it for my phone, and you can't use the 4K Ultra quality on your mobile device. Now, let's get to probably the first and biggest kicker about playing ESO on your phone. You have to buy the game again on Google Stadia. You can transfer your account over to Google Stadia, and this is not just an account transfer, but you're using your character on the regular PC live server that you were on before. Sorry, console guys, you cannot transfer your accounts over. It's only the PC guys that can link their Stadia account to their already existing account, but you have to repurchase the game. So that is a little bit of money to spend, but you only need to purchase the base game. All of the other additions that you have on your account will be applied to it once you link it to Stadia. But once you've done that, you are pretty much good to go. You just boot the game up and you can play right away. There's no download times or anything on Stadia, so you can literally play right after downloading the application and buying the game. So now let's talk a little bit about how it actually performed on my phone. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was incredibly impressed. I was blown away by the 1080p display that I had on my phone, how smooth everything was. It was very responsive. I had absolutely no skill delay, and I actually can't complain about Google Stadia. I went and did some research about the release of Stadia and what it was like, and people had a lot of issues with it at first. But there's been a lot more positive reviews in the past few months, and I gotta give them a plus here too. I really enjoyed the service, and I didn't have any massive issues at all. But as long as I had good internet, Stadia ran really well for me. Now, let's talk about that good internet. Stadia doesn't work well if you have slow internet, because it is a service that streams the footage to your device. You've got to have some pretty good internet, and it's going to chew a lot of wireless data while you use it. So ideally, you want unlimited internet, and I would say at least 10 megabits per second download speed to play on 720p, and then 20 megabits per second download speed to play on 1080p. So I even gave it a shot and drove around town, set my device to 720p, and just tried playing on various different free Wi-Fis in different restaurants that I was in or different mall locations. And I'm not gonna lie, it worked pretty well. About half the places I went to had good enough internet to run Stadia, and when it did, it ran just fine. And then, of course, the other half of the places, the internet was not very fast, and sometimes it was so slow that it wouldn't even let me connect to the game. Now, I did try playing on my LTE data as well, and that actually worked too. As long as I had full bars, the LTE was pretty freaking smooth and it worked really well. That being said, if I didn't have full bars, it did not work well, and it sometimes wouldn't let me log in again if I only had 1 or 2 bars of LTE. And finally, the game is actually capped at 30 FPS on Stadia. It's not my favorite thing about the game, but I do understand why they maybe did it, because they wanted it to work across such a wide array of devices, and 60 FPS would obviously be twice as much information to send as 30 FPS would. But graphically speaking, that's really my only complaint. So let's talk a little bit about the controls. Now, ESO was designed to be played on a controller, and I think that's a big reason why we see ESO on mobile, and there's no other MMO crossover besides maybe RuneScape that is on mobile as well. And that's because you can use a controller scheme on mobile quite well. I found even when I was using the on-screen overlay for ESO, it wasn't too bad to use. The controls weren't too terrible to reach for. I mean, it took a little bit of time for me to get used to the new button layout, but I've played a few games on my phone with an on-screen overlay like that with emulators and stuff before, so it felt pretty at home once I got used to the controls, and I could play the game. I'm not going to be as good at the game as I would be on my keyboard and mouse, and as I could be if I played with an actual controller Bluetoothed or connected to my phone. But it was really cool to have that on-screen overlay option, and it was cool to see it work as well as it did. Now, I knew within the first couple days of me playing this on my phone that I absolutely would need a proper controller to hook up to my phone in order to play. So I went and I bought myself something, and I hooked my controller up to my phone, and it was amazing. Honestly, to play ESO on my phone with a controller like that, I mean, the sky's the limit. If you like to play with a controller already, like some PC players do, or if you're coming from console and you want to play on your phone as well, create your new PC account, man, you can play to endgame on a controller. I mean, you can play PvP on a controller. It just depends if that is your preferred mode to play this game or not. So yeah, it's really sweet. I mean, I can do veteran dungeons myself on the controller, but I don't think I'll be out there PvPing, but the sky is the limit. So yeah, that leads me to talk about what you can do on ESO as a mobile game. I mean, everything that you can do on the game if you were playing it on console or on PC. I mean, there is no limitation to playing on your phone, and I think that's what makes it so cool. And on top of it, if you compare ESO to all the other MMO options that you have for your phone, I mean, nothing comes even close to what ESO has to offer. Now, I'm going to say there is a bit of a price tag behind this game if you do want to play it on your phone, but if you look at the competition, again, they have tons of in-game stores that are saturated with pay-to-win content, and thank God ESO is not a pay-to-win game. And I've got to say, for the $10 a month for Stadia and then the price tag of just purchasing the game once, it is a really good buy if you're looking for a fantastic mobile MMO experience. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a potential huge market for not just ESO, but mobile gaming in general. Having a service like Stadia to stream to your phone, I mean, gaming on the go is in demand nowadays, so that is pretty sweet, I think. So I would love to hear what you guys think about ESO on mobile. I would love to hear if you guys would want to try it yourself or not. Please let me know down in the comments section below. And if you have tried it, let me know about your experience with ESO on your phone. We do the top 5 PvP battles. If you guys want to send in a clip, or if you want to send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send that to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. Give me a follow on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with my shenanigans. You can check out my Twitch for my live streams and live gameplay as well. Check out KristoferESO.com for written guides to all my builds, and it's a hub for all of my ESO content. You can check out our sponsor, What the Fast. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first month in the link in the description below. And of course, a big thank you and a huge shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this job, so thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you everybody for watching today, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.